Yeah, hello. Good afternoon. So, welcome to this awareness session on anthropology. Let me introduce myself briefly. This is Dr. Vivekananda. I cleared my civil services examination in the year 2014. Currently, I'm working as an assistant director in Ministry of Defense with an organization named DMDE. And of course, I cleared my civil services examination with anthropology optional. My scores back then, I think it must be in top 3 or top 5. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, those were good scores. And I'm also into teaching anthropology for last 3 to 4 years. I'm teaching anthropology in Hyderabad and a couple of places in Delhi also I've taught. So this year, we are planning to launch a full-length module, and I believe you guys must have seen the date of it. Like from the coming Wednesday, we want to launch this module. The timing of the module, at morning we want to do it. Like that's what the general trend for UPSC aspirants, right? We will do the module morning 7 to 8:30, and my plan is to complete the module in 4.5 to 5 months. I don't say that I'll finish it off in 3 months, nor I'll prolong it so long that it will be going on and on for 6, 8 months. That also I won't be doing. I'll be finishing it off in 4.5 to 5 months, most likely before your February. So that if I try to complete it before February, you will have some time to prepare in detail, and at least 1 or 2 months you will get to revise. Then you can aram se prepare for your prelims. Of course, later you can start your mains preparation after the prelims examination. And some more things, some of you must be already aware. After every session, I'll be sharing a PDF, that to an image-based PDF. Already my physical anthropology image-based PDFs, tribal anthropology-based PDFs are already in the market. You can see them in my Telegram channel. Also, I have posted them, and just by looking at it, you can just appreciate the quality of the discussion which will be happening in the classroom. So, and also one more thing is that my USP, it's gonna be extensive answer writing practice, because I always believe that it would not really matter how much ever knowledge which you guys gain. At the end of the day, when a question is posed at you in the examination hall, if you are finding it difficult to attempt the question, if you are not able to write an answer in the stipulated time, I know you guys are beginners, most of you must be here are beginners, and for you thinking about answer writing might be a little far-fetched, because you must be still in that phase of when will classes start, when will classes get completed, when will I be taking down notes, what textbooks I must be reading. You must be in this stage of thinking, but no, I want you guys to think beyond that, right from the day one of your preparation. So what I'm trying to tell is, it's gonna be a systematic emphasis on answer writing from day one. Because at the end of the day, see, what should be the end goal of any civil services aspirant? To write a very good answer, so that your answer will get good scores in your mains examination. Based on that, you will be clearing your mains examination with a significant margin of 80 to 100 marks, and go to interviews. Of course, interviews will be taken care, isn't it? So that's my objective. From day one, we are going to do good amount of answer writing practice. And as I've already told, that every session will be discussed in detail. And after every session, I'll be sharing a detailed image-based revision or image-based PDF will be shared with you, right? So these are certain things which I'm interested in telling about the module. And fees and all, you must be aware. Generally, our fee patterns are the lowest in the market or the most affordable, and that's how most of the students know me. That's how most of the students have come to me, because that's the reason. It's not, it's any aggressive pricing, or it's not any competitive aspect, nothing like that. For me, teaching is more of a passion, so I would love to teach. And for the quality of the work we are doing, we just have to charge something, and with that intent, we generally are doing modules. And yes, on this note, so let me go into like this. These are certain details about the module per se. And at the end of the session, I'll again take more questions regarding module. I'll try to take certain questions regarding module. Let's try to quickly, do this thing of awareness on anthropology, because there might be some students who must be still in that dilemma whether they have to take anthropology or not. If you are already one such student who have decided that you are going with anthropology optional, that's very fine. And I promise you that we will give the best possible quality. In fact, the best quality in the country, I can promise you. And Yes. So for those students who are still in that dilemma whether to go with anthropology or not, I'll quickly in next 10-15 minutes, I'll tell you the importance of anthropology, right? So yes, as I've already mentioned, objective of the session is how interesting as a subject this discipline called as anthropology is, and to clear any myths or misconceptions you have about this optional. And then many things will be circulating in the market, right? Some people say sociology optional is better than anthropology. Some people will be saying geography has more complementarity or geography has more overlapping with general studies. Some people will be saying let's take Telugu literature, very less number of students will be attending with Telugu literature, so it's possible for you to maximize scores. See all these kind of things now, especially people who are in your stage wherein you are not aware or you are not sure of which optional to go with. It will be mind boggling. I'm aware because I myself have come through, I've sailed through that phase wherein it took me a lot of time to boil down and arrive at one optional. So I think my inputs or my insights at this point of time will be very helpful to you. See, this is one such optional, I can say with all the confidence, it's study of humans, ma. Anthropology is study of humans, and it's not an exaggeration to say that there is no other discipline, or there is no other subject which deals with humans or human beings in as comprehensive manner as anthropology does. That itself is the biggest pull for anthropology, isn't it? See, you would be going and you would be studying things like when religion has taken its origin, when society has taken its origin, when family system has taken its origin, or say when marriage system has taken its origin. All these kind of things are extremely interesting, ma. The more you get into the depth of the subject, the more you will be enjoying anthropology. And see, I know you must be watching all documentaries like how did human evolution happen, and some people saying that God has created human beings, and some of you must be watching these kind of documentaries and all. When other people are, they are just playing on the surface, learning to know whether humans have actually evolved from monkeys or humans, where did humans evolve from. But we in anthropology, we have such an interesting topics like primates or human evolution, in which we go to the roots of understanding when and how and why did humans evolve into the present form. So those things now, if you really develop that interest, believe me, it's one of the most interesting subjects, in fact more interesting than the other popular optionals which are in the market. So of course, scoreability part are getting marks in anthropology also I'll try to address, but first I want that genuine interest in you about the optional mark. I can very confidently say that once you get into the core of the subject, you will literally enjoy this subject. You will literally enjoy this subject. People now, when they are not taught properly, or when they are confused by too many concepts, or when the concepts are not explained in a systematic manner, that creates pressure, that creates tension, and that creates a kind of feeling that this optional is something difficult, this optional is something which has to be memorized a lot, this optional is something which requires drawing of too many diagrams. This is all bullshit. These kind of things people will utter only when they are not aware of how to approach the optional. So yes, stay assured, we will take care of the conceptual aspects and all those kind of things. As I've already mentioned in this context, look, we'll start about the evolutions of humans, isn't it? We all have that urge, right? We all have that curiosity, how humans have evolved. Did humans really evolve from monkeys? Are we still evolving? See, anthropology gives a systematic account and very detailed and inspiring and interesting account of all such information, right? Then of course, the compelling and convincing accounts of such things which layman thinks as mysteries is what anthropology will try to address for you. So mandate of anthropology does not end there. As I've already told, it talks about origins of society, origins of culture. When did man start to live his life as family? When did the first family begin? When we started to think about forming relationships? When did language begin? Isn't it? We all have that curiosity, right? When when organisms just like us, which are inhabiting the earth, when they don't have language, then when did the language of humans started? When humans started speaking? Why humans started speaking? What circumstances which were existing made humans to speak? Isn't it? All these things are very interesting and inspiring accounts, ma. Those things we will be studying in anthropology. And when religion came into our lives, isn't it? Even today, in the contemporary world where science is fully evolved and science is emerging on a rapid note, on a rapid basis, people still are believing in pseudo-mystic thought processes. People are still believing in obscurantist ideas, isn't it? Even I know some of you must be wearing, that yellow stones or blue stones or green stones, thinking that some Jyotishudu might have told you that you would clear this examination, you wear this black thread, green thread, isn't it? So that pseudo mystic thought processes, that pseudo religious ideas, such a thing will be systematically addressed as part of topics like religion. And of course, when did political organization first start? When did economic organization first start? So all these kind of things we will be studying. And going little further, we also have a theoretical part called as anthropological thought. This is one such area where students will find little difficult, and also most often, as it will be not taught in an interesting manner and an inspiring manner, people will often find it as difficult. But in reality, for me, it's like a challenge, and I believe this is the most interesting among all the topics. If you know that knack, and if you have that ability to establish intersections and interconnections among various components of the syllabus, there is no other part of the anthropology which is as thought-provoking as anthropological thought. It's such an inspiring idea. It's such an inspiring topic. Only thing is that it has to be taught in certain way, so that it actually sinks into you in a systematic and structured manner. So don't worry, stay assured. We will try to give the best possible content and best possible notes for this topic, anthropological thought, right? Then of course we also have physical anthropology or biological anthropology. Here there is a common misconception among students. Let me address this right now here for you. I am a student, or you may be thinking I am not a student of biology background. Then people say that in anthropology there are 80 to 100 marks from physical anthropology or biological anthropology. Then how is it, or how difficult it is for me to manage this component? Let me say this. Just go back and check for yourself the figures, the statistics, and see how many students with engineering background are clearing anthropology optional. If you try to see 80 to 90% of the people who are clearing with anthropology optional with good marks in anthropology, they are from engineering background. So this part is not at all difficult, ma. This physical anthropology, biological anthropology, if you know certain basics, and that basics being addressed in the first 3-4 hours, which I'll take care. Stay assured, I myself am a doctor, so I have read a lot. Obviously we have to read a lot if you have to pass the examination. So I can take good care of this physical anthropology or biological anthropology, and this is one of my strongest areas because of my academic background. So I'll try to give good quality information, good quality PDFs, and explanation part will be taken care, and I'll make you guys intensely practice in all possible places, diagrams, flow charts, which are essential to understand this topic in a proper manner. And if you guys want, you can also go through the PDF, which I have already posted in my Telegram channel in this topic, physical anthropology, right? So things like how do inheritance happen and what kind of aberrations are there, topics like race and racism. See, even today you must be seeing in newspapers, right? Things like racism, say blacks being ill-treated by whites, or even in our country, a subtle form of racism in the name of caste system, isn't it? So all such kind of things will be addressed in this physical anthropology. Then we also have ideas like nutritional anthropology, epidemiological anthropology, ecological anthropology, and very, very interesting forensic anthropology. See, we are right in the middle of a pandemic, right? Isn't it? Pandemic. So we anthropologists, we go to the depth of, I have read in newspapers a couple of days ago, ma, there are some tribal groups, even when government is trying to vaccinate them, government is trying to give them vaccines, they are not accepting vaccines. Then what government has done, it has sent some social scientists to try to understand what's the reason these tribals are not taking vaccines. When this social scientists, in that group some anthropologists are also there, they went and they interacted with people. It was known that those people are believing that it's against their religious practices to take vaccines. Then government understood, okay, it has got something to do with religious practices. Then government tried to recruit, government tried to counsel local village headmen and other influential people in that locality and counseled them that vaccine has that nothing to do with religion. And now later that people started taking vaccines. See, look here, though government is providing vaccines and government is giving vaccines at an affordable price, but still people are hesitant to take vaccines. There, here, who came into picture? Anthropologists, social scientists have come into picture. They tried to do a systematic social study and try to pinpoint the possible reason why people are not taking vaccines, and it was observed that this vaccine hesitancy stems from their religious thoughts. That itself shows the contemporary relevance or significance of anthropology, and all such ideas we will be studying in topics like epidemiological anthropology, ecological anthropology. On day-to-day basis, you guys must be hearing about terms like sustainable development, green economy, circular economy, isn't it? So we all are now craving for that world free of pollution, free of global warming, and try to mitigate the disasters which are caused by climate change. But yes, even anthropological concepts, anthropological ideas can richly contribute. That is how the topics like ecological anthropology will be significantly helpful. And yes, forensic anthropology, it is the study of the dead bodies, studies of the corpses, and by trying to study from the corpses, we will try to arrive how to identify whether the body which has been identified, it is of a female body or it is of a body of a child, it is a body of what aged person it is, through bone studies, through DNA studies, through blood grouping studies, through all these different kinds of studies in forensic anthropology, we will try to establish the identity of the dead bodies. So that is about forensic anthropology. Demographics, something very important, right? You must have been reading in the newspapers recently. Uttar Pradesh government trying to propose its own population policy, saying that it want to restrict population growth. Population explosion is a major social problem which India is facing in the contemporary times. You must be already aware. Country is reeling under this pressure of population explosion. Yes, anthropology has some durable solutions to address this problem of population explosion and give good suggestions or solutions for population control. So that comes into the picture in topics like demographic studies. So just like that, we will enter into paper 2. In paper 2, you have Indian anthropology. We try to go into depth and study concepts like contemporary relevance, and means how in modern day society, even Indian concepts like Rina, Varna, Ashrama Sista, Purushartha, Karma philosophy, how these concepts can be made to put to proper use even in contemporary times. See, present materialist world, right? We are all that hyper careerist materialist world. Definitely there is relevance. Spirituality has to come back. Spirituality has to properly guide us so that the humanity in us will flourish in a better manner. So how that can happen? That can happen only when we try to revive or we try to establish the contemporary relevance of the existing values and try to bring back the old values of the Indian social system like Rina, Varnashrama, Purushartha, Karma philosophy. These things will be studied in such a way that we will try to establish their contemporary relevance. Just like that, we will also have a detailed study about the caste system in India. When did the caste system start? What are the issues with the caste system? What are the benefits of the caste system? And how different types of caste studies are done? How caste is influencing political system? How caste is influencing economic system? And how caste is responsible for degradation of the society? How to address the problems associated with caste system? How to get rid of the caste system? These kind of interesting ideas will be addressed as part of the caste system. Then we also have something called as village studies, wherein certain anthropologists, they have done some village studies. So they have studied Indian villages and they have studied how Indian village economy is running, how Indian village society is running, or what type of culture exists in the Indian villages. All these things we'll be discussing as part of the village studies. Then the last component of the syllabus and most interesting among all is this tribal anthropology, isn't it? So you must be aware who tribals are, and we all have that innate urge or curiosity to know more and more about tribals, right? So here we will go into a lot of depth. We will try to understand what kind of problems tribals are facing, their cultural degeneration, their forceful displacement from their native lands, isn't it? Who are all these people languishing under the traffic lights? Isn't it? Those people are tribals who are forcefully displaced from their native habitats. We will try to study their problems, how we are forcefully alienating, throwing them away from their native lands, how they are being burdened by debts, how they are facing unemployment, how they are facing health related issues, how they are facing illiteracy or education related issues. What are the problems of malnutrition among tribal groups? All such things we will be discussing under the tribal anthropology. So this gives a broad overview of what we will be studying as part of anthropology. So I know it's very difficult in 10 minutes to summarize what we are going to do as part of anthropology, but yes, I'm repeatedly saying this and I'm assuring you that this will be a very joyous ride and you will thoroughly enjoy the process of preparing for this optional. That much I can assure. And of course, from my side, I'll also promise that I'll try to make it as much interesting as possible, right? Then books to read in anthropology. I'll just, rather than going in a detailed manner, I'll just tell one thing, a very important thing. Never read anthropology or syllabus of anthropology book-wise. Read it topic-wise. I know for beginners, it might be a little difficult to comprehend, but yes, never read anthropology book-wise. Read it topic-wise. Read it topic-wise means based on each topic, based on each topic. Say, for instance, there is a topic called as tribal malnutrition or tribal education, or there is a topic like race and racism. The best way of reading it is read from one source, read it second time, consolidate it, make a quick note of it. Then for the third and fourth and fifth readings, now you can read from any source and you will try to keep on adding the content from different sources and you will consolidate everything at one place. So you will have any topic, you will have at least 3 to 5 pages of good notes. So notes making is something very important component of anthropology, which we will be taking care as part of our sessions. We will take care of notes, and I myself will give you handwritten notes. That is what I am doing for my students. Stay assured, you will have by the time the module is done, you will have a proper notes for you to fall back upon, for you to systematically revise upon, right? Yes. So this part I am not going deep. Anyways, I'll be sharing this PDF for you. You can see this PDF. You will understand what books you are supposed to read for anthropology, right? Yes. Then some people also ask how to pick ideas from current events and current affairs. Of course, that is my job. It's my responsibility. So whenever I am teaching classes, I'll try to, it's not possible to tell it in 5 minutes or 10 minutes. It's my job. It's so I will train you. So how to identify different topics, or if something comes up in news today, then I'll tell you this can be linked to that particular topic, or this idea we can write it in this particular answer. That will not, you will not learn it in half a day or one day, something like that. It's a process. It may take you some 5-6 months of time. You will try to gradually understand and internalize the concepts. The more you internalize the concepts, then the easy is your ability to identify the topics from newspapers, and after identifying such topics from newspapers, you will learn how to actually apply those concepts while writing your answers. So don't expect that you will learn this skill in day or two. It's a time taking and it's a process. And the more structured and systematic you are in this process of learning, the easier it will become for you to identify the content from the current affairs part. Okay, yes. So yes, how to take notes. This part I have already addressed. Like many students have this question, how to take notes in anthropology. So never read anthropology textbook wise, but read it topic wise. As I've told, if there is one topic, first you will read it 2 times, then you will write it on your own handwriting, then you will keep on adding it from different sources. That is how you build a comprehensive notes for every single topic, And how much time is required to complete anthropology optional? As I've already mentioned, I'll try to finish it off in 4 to 5 months, and and you should have a minimum of 5 hours of effort. You should give it on daily basis for 120-150 days. So 650 hours of sincere effort would suffice for you to master this subject called as anthropology, right? Yes. Does anthropology has any kind of complementarity with general studies? It's a very common question. People ask, if I read anthropology, will it benefit me, or will it be of help to me in general studies? Yes, ma. Answer is an emphatic yes. Definitely anthropology has complementarity. You can see it, right? Say topics like caste, tribe, constitutional provisions of tribes, Dalits, contemporary problems of tribes, contemporary problems of Dalits, genetic developments, live-in relationships, diverse, all these topics which we will be studying as part of anthropology has a significant overlap with your general studies. So yes, there is a lot of complementarity between what you are reading in anthropology and what you are reading in general studies. Okay, yes. See, it will be helpful in Indian society paper 1, in paper 2 some governance related ideas, and paper 3 internal security, Naxalism, ethnic conflicts, communal conflicts. Such topics you will understand with ease. In ethics also there is a significant overlap because it richly enhances quality of your answer writing. Okay, and essays also, if you have seen UPSC trend over last year, UPSC is asking reflective topics, right? Like your opinions on caste system, opinion on marriage, opinion on religion, all these things. So as we are studying topics like caste, social institutions, anthropological thought, your essay writing skills also will significantly improve, right? So importance of answer writing practice, yes, answer writing practice is very significant. So other very common question which students ask me is, when should we start writing answers? From day one, and that is going to be the USP of our module. We will ensure that you practice answer writing from day one, and that too on a consistent basis. I'll ensure that you guys will write a minimum of 200 to 300 answers before the completion of the module. If you really write 200 to 300 answers, get them evaluated, identify the mistakes, then I'm pretty sure your answer writing skills will be substantially enhanced before the completion of the module. Okay, yes. So answer writing, it's not about content or information. Answer writing is about answer writing skills, answer writing speed. So that is the reason you have to start practicing it from day one. Don't worry, these things we'll be discussing after the beginning of the module, right? This I have already addressed, right? Address this problem. Students of non-biology background feeling comfortable and clearing UPSC exam in anthropology. 90% people who are clearing with anthropology belong to non-biology background. Yes, 3 to 5 days of work dedicating to basics, 7 to 8 hours. That will be sufficient for you to prime you into just this much time you have to afford. Students of non-biology background, 3 to 5 days of work, that to some 7 to 8 hours, that 30 to 40 hours if you are willing to give, then it will more than take care of your biology, and you can write better answers than even biology background students. So your biology, non-biology has nothing to do with your anthropologies. You should be very clear about it, right? Yes. And other common doubt people will be having, it's a static subject. Yes, ma, because of the reason that it is a static subject, it has become a scoring subject. That is the reason why there are significant number of people who are clearing this exam with this optional, and they are getting good scores and good ranks. Okay, so that's one advantage. There is also some amount of the dynamic part in paper 2, but yes, we will thoroughly do it as part of our current affairs, and definitely those things also will be taken care, right? So let me not take much time and waste your time. So as I've already said, the module we will be starting from the Wednesday itself. The timings will be from morning 7 to 8:30. So that is one comfortable time for everybody. So to start the day on an inspiring note, and give at least 2.5 to 3, or even 3 to 4 hours of time on daily basis for completing the optional. So by the time of January, or by the time of, if possible in the even before that also, you guys should have complete confidence over this optional anthropology. Optional anthropology should be on your fingertips. Optional answer writing should be on your fingertips, and you are ready to get score of 300, 320. And that's how in the very first attempt you can clear this examination, provided you are properly motivated, right? So I'll take some more time. I'll try to take questions if there are any from your side. Yeah. You can post the questions in the chat box. I have access to the chat box, so I'll try to address your questions, if any, in the chat box. Okay. Yes. I'll post the PDF of the session in my Telegram channel, Reflections with Dr. Vivekananda. You should just post the Telegram channel. Okay. Yeah, Telegram channel, you can see it. Yes, I'll be providing material. Definitely, I'll be providing material for every topic. Every single topic, I'll be providing PDF. Every single topic. Stay assured. That's what we do, and we are doing it regularly, right? Yes. Any other questions? Any other questions before we go a little further? We will create a dedicated Telegram group for it. We will create a dedicated Telegram group for it. So in that dedicated Telegram group, I'll be sharing the material immediately after the completion of the class. I'll be sharing that material. Okay, ma? Yes. Fees and all. That's what I have like. If you are joining from any other institution's platform, you can contact them. But if you are directly joining from our platform, you can. In my Telegram channel, I have given the contact number, and I also you can share the contact number. Sure, you can. So he'll be sharing the contact number. You can come in touch with them. They'll be giving. Okay. Telegram channel ID. It's already posted. Telegram channel ID. It's already posted. Right. Yeah. So hope your doubts, anything as such, are cleared. Stay assured. That's the only thing I can say. Of course, there are many. You must be thinking, why should you guys join with me? I'm not good at boasting about myself, but it's one obvious thing is I've cleared this examination, and that way I've cleared this examination with my anthropology optional. And I'm also passionate about teaching. Some of you must be already knowing me. You must have attended my general studies modules, and you would have seen the quality of content we provide and the way we try to motivate and mentor our students. So if you already know about me, let me not tell much about me. But yes, even if otherwise, that's what. Yes, I cleared this examination, and that too with anthropology optional. And that's how I'll try to do my complete justice. And definitely, I'll ensure that you guys get good scores. And it's not that our support will be only till the completion of the module. It's not like that. Once you are with us, till you get the rank. We'll be hand holding. We will be guiding you till you clear this examination with the anthropology optional, right? That's what now for optional subject, marks will be 500, Naveen. For optional subject, marks will be 500, and if you get somewhere between 300 to 350, then you will be a topper, definitely. And subject to your general studies course, if your score are about 300, and if it is something like 320, 330, 340, definitely you will top the examination, right? Yes. Is it easy? Means definitely I can say it is one of the easiest optional among all the subjects. Most important reason being it is significantly static. Static means it's not based on current affairs. Except for paper 2, most topics of the anthropology, they are based on static portions. So that makes it easy. So once you are prepared, you are well prepared. It's all about revising the concepts as many times as possible. So that's how your success in the examination will be assured. Yes. Telugu language also, yes, it can also be written in Telugu language, but we are not providing in Telugu language. No, we will be providing it in, though I belong to Telugu state, because I am not comfortable in teaching with Telugu. You guys can attend classes in English if you want, if you are interested. Telugu material, I'll try to help you with Telugu material. Means I'll try to guide where Telugu material is available. I can't provide Telugu material. Let me be honest. I can't tell that I'll provide Telugu material because that's not my area. But you can attend classes in English medium, and later, if you want, I'll guide you guys in getting material in Telugu subject. Okay. Yes. My explanation will be in English, because I'll have students from all over the country, right? Generally, whatever module we launch, we'll have students from all over the country. So it will be predominantly in English. It will be in English. Okay. Yes. That's what now it's all about your preparation. It's all about your preparation. If you are well prepared, this optional is scoring somewhere around 330, 340 also. There are students who are getting 320, 330, 340 also. It's all about your level of preparedness. Okay. Definitely, if you guys strictly follow us, try to take, that's what the most of the students, when they start off, they come with a lot of enthusiasm, they come with a lot of excitement, but that enthusiasm or excitement will not last for long. The initial days now, when we give assignments, they'll be doing assignments, they'll be very expressive in the classrooms, they'll be asking doubts, clearing their doubts, writing answers properly, getting it evaluated. That enthusiasm will not last long with many students. Problems is not with the faculty. I'll never blame faculty. I'll blame only students for this, because students are not enough motivated. So if you guys are really motivated, and if you have that zeal now, there is nothing which can stop you guys from doing, isn't it? So it's all about your zeal. If you are really zealous, hardworking person who is consistent and who have that perseverance to reach your dream with all grit and determination, you can score why 320. You can also score 350. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. Yes. That's what Sushma I have told Nama. There will be a significant overlap in general studies. I've already demonstrated through the slide, right? There is a significant overlap of GS. especially you can see this that overlap with GS. See, topics like caste, social institutions, they all have significant overlap. And ethics also there is an overlap. Paper 3 subject there is an overlap. Paper 2 subject there is an overlap. Indian society paper 1 you will have a significant overlap. That is how I am trying to say that there is lot of complementarity between your general studies and anthropology. Only thing is that you should have that knack of observing how anthropology is related to your general studies. Okay. Yeah, Durga Prasad, confused about political science or anthropology. That's what now. I'll suggest this simple tip for all of you guys. If you are doubtful about optional, it's as simple as that. Give 50% to the scoreability of the optional. Give 30% to your personal liking of the optional. Give 15% to the faculty. Give 15% weightage to the kind of material available in the market, test series support available in the market. Based on this criteria, you have to decide on your own. Observe which optional is giving good scores in the last 5 years. That is scoreability of the optional. 30% personal liking. 30% means how much you are liking the subject. Give for it 30% weightage. 15% to the faculties, like which institute you are attending classes. 15% to the test series support available, because there are some options for which there is no test series support available. Such options are not correct. So on this basis, you try to choose your optional, and I can say that you can comfortably join anthropology. Anthropology is highly scoring. You just have to develop that personal liking for the optional. Faculty aspect, I'll take care. Material aspect, test series aspect, I'll take care. If you are interested, you can join. Yes. Engineering background, that's what Naveen I am trying to say. Even for students of engineering background, anthropology is a very good optional. I told, right, this biology, non-biology has got nothing to do. Only thing is that you have to give that extra 20 to 30 hours of work, wherein that basics, you know, now once you know that basics, you will aram say and you will easily understand. And I have seen most of the students who are clearing with anthropology optional are the engineering background students only. There is completely zero distinction between biology, non-biology. Anybody can appear for this optional. Okay. Yes. Success rate in UPSC, yes, you must be aware, right? Every year UPSC circulates around 1,000 posts, 1,000 to 1,200 posts. But yes, number of people who are attempting this examination seriously will be somewhere between 60,000 to 80,000 or 1 lakh. So out of 1 lakh people, around 800 to 1,000 people are clearing this examination now. Okay, so that's how you can understand about the success rate of the optional, right? Then that's what. So it will be definitely helpful, right? If you are preparing for UPSC, UPSC is considered the best exam in the country, Venkat Ramudu, isn't it? It's considered the best exam in the country. So if you are preparing for the best examination in the country, then you are getting yourself exposed to the best quality content. So if you have that best quality content, there is no other exam which you can't clear. I myself know many of my friends who have appeared for UPSC because of some bad luck, they could not clear UPSC, but all of them have cleared some or other exam, group 1, group 2, that EPFO examination, RRB, or bank, what is that? RBI grade 2, ACIO, CAPF. They have all comfortably cleared other examination, because you are preparing to UPSC quality, which is considered as the best examination in the country. Then any other examination is like a cakewalk for you, isn't it? Yes. Yeah, fee patterns and all, as I've told, right? You can call on the number which is posted in the yeah, just now I'll be posting the number. You guys can just call on the number and fee details will be provided there. Yes. Yes, that's what. See, I have started my institute very recently. I've started my institute just 6 months ago, but many students whom I have guided with other institutions, they have cleared. Many students, they have cleared. That's what you can ask other friends if you have in Hyderabad or like that. Let me not boast more about myself. It's not correct. Okay. Yes. Book list for anthropology, I have already shared in this PDF. I'll be sharing this PDF. You can just go through the PDF. In the PDF, I have given you the book list, right? Yes. So I think we are done with questions. So thank you so much. And as I've told, we will be launching this module on this Wednesday. I think it's 18th, right? On 18th, we are launching the module. Hope you guys will be part of our success journey and make good use of this module. And any other doubts, anything as such, if you guys have, we'll be more than happy to help you. And I'm just sharing the contact number with you. You can just call on that number and take admissions, right? So, and any doubts also, you can just call them and try to ask them about it. And regarding anthropology, I have told you guys everything that is possible, right? Okay, ma. Thank you so much, and all the very best for your UPSC journey. I wish that all of you would come up with a good rank and come up with a good success. All the very best. Thank you.